This segment of Delmarva Life is brought to you by Peninsula Home Care.
Well, the holidays are time for family and friends, great dinners, cheer, and for many people, stress.
Oh yeah, and according to a survey by Think Finance, 45% of Americans would rather skip Christmas altogether. 25% of Americans say the holiday causes extreme stress, as polled by the American Psychological Association. Nearly 70% say the stress is brought in by a lack in finances, while more than 50% say they stress over giving and getting presents.
Well, another stressful part of the holidays, the get-togethers. You know, will I have enough food? Will everyone get along? Now, imagine this time of year with someone who's struggling with dementia, recently lost a spouse, is ill, or is recently injured.
While all of those situations can damper someone's holiday spirits, there is a way you can feel better this time of year. Joining us to tell us how is Peninsula Home Care Branch Director Nancy Bagwell. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. We just talked about some of the things we dread this time of year. What are some others?
Well, for many of us, gathering together with our family and friends is very exciting. For others, it can be very stressful because they are actually coming out of their comfort zone. Additionally, there's lots of noise and activity, and that can be quite exhausting. For some, it may be the concern of actually how to physically get to your home. Maybe they have a wheelchair or they have a walker. Then they have to figure out how to navigate through your home.
Now, another thing that, you know, we might not think about off the bat, but then when we hear it, we're like, that makes sense. The bathroom can cause stress. Why?
The bathroom is of a great concern for most of these individuals who may be in a wheelchair, that sort of thing. So what we want to, you know, they're thinking in their mind, is it on the second floor? How am I going to get to it? So as you're planning for your guests, you want to look at the bathroom that you'll ask them to use. Is it easily accessible? Will they need something extra to be able to get on it?
Yeah, and you brought along some devices that can help with that, and we're going to look at those in a minute. Another thing we may not think about that causes stress in all of us, really, for me especially, is remembering names, but for older people.
Yeah, particularly if they have dementia or Alzheimer's. One of the things I might recommend is that as you come into your guests, you know, most of the time we only see each other once a year for a lot of families.
Yeah.
So just introduce yourself. Hi, Grandma. This is Nancy. How are you doing today? And that can eliminate some of that stress for you.
And then just don't take it personal.
Absolutely. Just don't take it personal.
All right. So let's say Grandma or Grandpa want to have the holidays at their house. How can you make it easier for everyone?
Well, what you would want to consider is if you are having it at their home, think about things that would make it easier for them, the time of day, maybe a smaller, more intimate gathering, and then at a time of day where they would be more alert or most awake.
Yeah, okay. Let's talk safety. I mean, you know, there are some things that we can do to ease their stress by them not worrying about whether or not they're going to fall or something like that.
Well, absolutely. And many of us have extra electrical cords or
brought
throw
some
rugs
examples
that we have
Yeah.
throughout our home very commonly. We want to make sure that the rugs are taken up or secured. All loose electrical cords are taken away. We can also consider maybe using an elevated toilet seat for those guests. If you have overnight guests, you want to make sure that the bedroom is on the first floor near a bathroom. And if they are staying overnight, one of the things that you can use is a grab bar that has suction cups that will help them to get in and out of the tub much easier. And then let's not forget about our night lights, making sure that our halls are lit and so everyone can move around safely through the night.
Now, these are tips and pointers and I guess objects that can be used all the time, all year round. Is there anything else we should keep in mind?
I think that one of the things that you can consider is that if you would like to have one of these, they're readily available, usually at a medical equipment company. And you can also think about ramps. If someone is on a wheelchair, you can rent a ramp for the day. Just making things easier for them to access your home.
And food. We serve food when we have company, so that's something we need to take into consideration as well, what we serve.
Absolutely. You consider your guest list, and then are there special needs for their diet? Is there something that's low fat, low sodium? Make sure things aren't too spicy. And then one of the things is thinking about, is it a choking hazard? Would you want to do that?
Nancy, thank you so much. A lot of good advice. Now, if you missed any of the advice or would like to learn more about Peninsula Home Care, log on to our website, wboc.com, and click on our picture at the top of the page. Now, for some people, no matter how prepared you are for the holidays, this time of year can also bring sadness. And regardless of how hard you try, happiness is hard to come by.
So if you find those moments of overwhelming bouts of sadness, the experts at the Mayo Clinic have great advice. Cry. Man or woman, it doesn't matter. They say it's important you take the time to cry or express your feelings. Experts add you should also reach out to people for support and companionship by becoming part of a community, religious or other social events.
You can also volunteer. Helping others can lift your spirits and increase your number of friends. But remember to be realistic. People grow and change, so don't set yourself up for failure by expecting perfection or that nothing will change from year to year.
Make a budget and stick to it. Remember, you can't buy happiness. And lastly, set aside your differences, accept your family and friends as they are, and be more understanding.
Yes, very important. Now, if you're still depressed, if you're stressed or hopeless, maybe you're unable to sleep or you're irritable, seek help from a doctor or a medical professional.
Very important. Well, another thing that can cause stress during the holidays as well as any other day of the year is your appearance.
If you are one of the tens of thousands who suffered from acne and are now left with the scars, you know you would do just about anything to get rid of them. Up next on Delmarva Life, we'll show you one of the latest beauty treatments some are using to make pockmarks appear to be a thing of the past.
And this next stressor can happen particularly when the camera comes out, avoiding the double chin. And no matter how you hold your head, a second, third, even fourth can appear. See which double chin product has some coming back for seconds.
And later, high heel hell or heaven? We take a look at both sides of the debate.
But first, Delmarva Life is all about community. That's your community too.
Is there something going on in your neighborhood? We'd love to hear about it and see your photos from the event. Send the information our way along with any pictures you'd like to share.
You can reach us at comments@delmarvalife.com or like us on Facebook and share the info there. Delmarva Life, we'll be right back.